Hey, YouTube. All right, go ahead, hit the thumbs up and say hey in the chat so I know who it is. All right, I'll wait to start in a few. Hey, one person. All right, now let me start. So, I've been looking at a video of DIY videos, do it yourself, particularly with home improvements. And I was thinking of a way of how I'm going to budget my money for next year, especially for special projects, because, um, I like to keep an emergency fund and then establish a remodel fund. So, I lived in my house. It's going on what 12 years, 11. Let me see, 12 years, right? And when I bought the house, I didn't buy a brand new house. It wasn't upgraded. It was kind of like 1996. With these gold fixtures and things of that nature. So I said, you know what? Let me and I bought it for like 100 and what the that made all that racket. So, I bought it, the house was like for 117,000. Well, 119, And okay, who keeps coming in and out? Well, anyway, I'll wait to see if more of y'all come on. So I'm looking at these different DIY projects on YouTube and people, upgrading and remodeling. And I said to myself, I could really do that myself, to be honest. And it didn't. It was like a stair remodel, and I said to myself, you know what? I could do that. You know, it was like under $100, and it was kind of like that. Um, the way they did it, it really looked really good. And I said to myself, why hire people to do certain types of things? So I said, the more that I try to look at videos, observe, and I already got some tools. I bought me some brand new tools and never used them. And I said, certain things I could really try to do it myself. So how I'm going to plan on doing that? Of course, I'll be working at TurboTax, and I'm gonna try to do as much overtime that I could do, as well as my merchandising assignments. You know, and then there are several different apps that I use to keep track of my receipts, and you get gift cards. So part of that is that I could buy my gift cards from Home Depot or Lowe's from these different programs I have. Even at into a TurboTax, I wonder if they're gonna still do the, if you work on certain days during the week, they'll give you some gift cards. And I had actually accumulated a lot of those gift cards, even though they turn around and tax it. And so I said to myself, I still have Target gift cards and other gift cards that I haven't redeemed yet. So, and last tax season, I think I got about, let me see, I think I got about $900. It might not be 900. I got to think. I got a substantial amount of gift cards, and some I bought at going to restaurants and things like that. But I still have some gift cards um, from Marshalls. I redeemed them for like Marshalls, and I want to say it was Home Depot. No, it might have been Lowe's. Lowe's, and I said, you know what? If I end up getting, say, about $400 or $500 values of gift cards, I'm going to dedicate it to going to buy them either at Lowe's or Home Depot or both. But I think they had the rewards program. I think it was only Lowe's. I know Wayfair was on the list, but I'm not buying anything from Wayfair. For one thing, I don't want to buy no furniture that you got to assemble. But the majority of the things I'm not going to buy for food. I'm not going to go to Panera. I did buy gift cards to go to Panera, but I think I'm better off going to Home Depot and Lowe's and buy the products that I need. So, with a combination of using an app, I've been using like, Fetch Rewards and Shopkick, and there were some other ones too where you get points. And with the prices of groceries going up and everything going up, you know, I could use like Shopkick. I'm showing y'all like Shopkick, and you get points, in the app, watching videos, and it really adds up. Hey, two people, who else is on here in the chat? Let me know. You hear that? It was a chime because I'm looking at the different videos. So far I've got 8,040 points for this particular app. Let me see. I'm gonna share the referral link in the chat. Oh shoot, let me see. Walmart. You get points just by walking in the store, but you have to have this particular app when you walk in, and it would chime and it will be giving you points, and it adds up too. It really do. I remember one time I was in Walmart and somebody had the same app, and they was um, getting these Shopkick points, and I said, well, how long have you been doing it? And this person had um let me see. See, I got let me move this up. See, I got 8,040 points. This person, and this was like in the summertime. I was in there. This person had like 80,000, 90,000 plus points. And I was like, dang, that's and they would just use them. So let me see. Let me see if I could I'm gonna put the invite code in the chat. And I'm also gonna put this try to give this, let me see. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me look. And you get free gift cards. All right, so let me go ahead and copy this, put it in the chat, and I'll probably put this in the description too. All right, hold on. Let me go to the. Hey, Colas. Okay, this is the link for Shopkick, and Shopkick is one of the apps where I go to the store and you have to have it in the interface, and then you walk into it's like Target, Kroger's, any a lot of these major stores on the list, and it will give you these kick points, and it would chime and say boop, it would chime in, and then you would get points, and you could buy gift cards. Now I'm gonna put this in the description as well. But if you looked at my previous video, it will also give you I have listed like different referral links. So Shopkick is one that I use to gain points. Now there are some other ones that I use. Now, if you click on it, if you click on that link, download it, it'll be shipped. It will be Shopkick. And then if you into a certain particular store, for instance, you can also scan items. Like say you go to the store and you in Walmart, and then they say, "Oh, scan this item." You don't have to buy it; it will give you points for that. But if you buy an item and you scan your receipt, it will also give you like points. So I didn't walk into Publix. I did walk into CVS. Okay, Dollar Tree. Okay, some of the stores if you go into with Shopkick, Publix, CVS, Dollar Tree, Marshalls, um, Walmart, Walgreens, Home Depot, Chili's, Kroger's, Aldi's. It's a whole list of stores. Where's my receipt for Panera? I know I went to Panera. It gives me 50 kicks. Target, TJ Maxx. It's a list in Best Buy. It's a whole lot of stores. You could scan items like if say, you know, it tell you to you scan Cheerios, and then you scan the box, and it will light up and give you points. So let me show you how it works. I don't know if y'all can really see that, but um, these are bonus kicks just for watching the video. So I don't know if you could hear it. So right now, if I was, watching this video on the app, once I finish watching it, it's going to give me some kicks for that. See, it gave me a kick for it. So now I got 8,041 kicks, bonus kicks. So if I wanted to redeem that points, let me see what the value is for that. Mm-hmm. I look at this as a way of this is pretty fun. I look at it like a game in a sense. Let me see. Uh-oh. Let me see. I'm not going to redeem any rewards. I'm going to let this accumulate. I can't. Let me see. I'm trying to redeem it, but it won't let. I'm not redeeming it. Mm. I think those number of points is like $25 gift cards, and it's with various different stores. Well, that's just one of them. And then, you've probably seen this commercial, Rakuten. You could use this particular app and you could go online and shop stores. You get either a certain percentage back, like 5% back from Target, 5% back from Lowe's, 5% for Hot Wire. There are all these major outlet stores. So if you shop online and you go to Rakuten, that also gives you money cash back. Now I did use this one time when I first got AT&T internet. I actually ordered, I went online through the Rakuten app and I got back $45. So you get a lot of money back from all these stores. So if you always go to Amazon, now Amazon they used to be on here, but they don't really try to give no one no cash back or rebates with them. But a lot of major stores, Macy's, Target, Nordstrom's, Walmart, um, there's a whole bunch you get cash back from. Now I haven't. Let me see. Now I've so with online shopping being the big thing to do, you get a lot of cash back on a lot of offers, and it really adds. It gives you back money. And at this time, if people trying to save money and things of that nature, Nike, Ace Hardware Store, QVC, Groupon, 12%. You know, Walgreens. I mean, it's like these are almost like um, money savers. And Rakuten used to be, hey Romeo, go ahead and click on the link, thumbs up, like, comment, and share. But I've gotten cash back, so let me see if I have another. Um, I hadn't shared too much on this, but I'm gonna put that on there too. Some people I got your phone numbers. I'm gonna send. Let me send a link. Now Rakuten, you could actually get $30. So let me put this in the link too. This is a good one too. Put that in there. All right. I'm gonna put all these links and keep putting post this in my videos. But let me put this in the chat. Oops. Yep, please hit the like button. Rakuten. Now, this is the other. Oops, too many words. Okay, this other one is Rakuten. Now, it went by another name at one time. What was the other one known? I can't remember. But it's been out for a while, and I've actually gotten the money back with that one too. Now, this is free, but if you shop online, um, because a lot of these companies now they want, if you go online, and it's a lot of major stores. And what I will appreciate if y'all sign up for the referral. Now you don't have to, you can just do it, use it. Because sometimes I forget about Rakuten. I was like, oh, let me go online and buy things. And I keep forgetting about Rakuten. I said, wait a minute, and people have actually gotten about thousands of dollars cash back from shopping online. And it's the same regular stores. It's just that you get a percentage back of what you spend. And this is really good. So lifetime earning, actually it was $37.50. I went and ordered from AT&T. So a lot of these major sites, it's on there. So go ahead and when I finish the video, I'm gonna put all these links that I'm talking about, and you also get you're also gonna get paid for the referral too. So I get a referral and you get it the same amount. So, but it's pretty good, and I'll put in the ones that I've used in terms of cashback offers and points, the coupons, you know, and because when you think about all this money crunch and things going up so high and expensive, and it's like, why don't you just use some of these apps where you could actually get points? You don't even have to buy anything. Like that first one I was telling y'all with Shopkick, you get points, and say you do it for a whole year, and at the end of the year for Christmas, you could actually get like $100 worth of gift cards. You know, $100 worth of gift cards and points for like buying, rebates on buying gas. So far I've gotten like $25 worth of points to buy gift cards. And what I've done in the past was I would let it accumulate for like few months, and then at the so many months will pass, I'll turn around and say, okay, you know what, let me just buy gift cards. So rather than me spending money, I would cash out on the points that I've accumulated, and I would buy, things that I need, like especially expensive things. I would just say, you know what, let me get. One time it was one company I was dealing with points.com or bonus points.com, and it was reading emails. Just click on the email and it will accumulate points. So I've done that for for a couple of years. I was just playing around, because people are always on their phone. And I said, you know what? Let me see how much all these points that I've been accumulating. And I actually bought like three $75 worth of Shell gift cards. And so if you get into a crunch, I would just, redeem points. And sometimes I would have so many points and cash back, $2, $3, it would add up. And then I would deposit it into a savings account. So, yeah, you should do that. I've used, and it's a lot of these companies are popping up. The ones that I was using, it's been out for a long time, and um, I've just started accumulating, keeping track of it. But I'm gonna do a list. I already do have a list already. It's right there. I have a list, and I try to put it in my description box. So I'll put that all together, and y'all can look at the description. So because I think when next year comes, the way that they've been talking about, and I don't know. It's like it depends who you listen to. there's people on YouTube. Um, they like to act like it's like a total economic collapse. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, people saying the stock market is going up and down, and it's gonna be a collapse, and inflation is. Oops. See what he doing? That dang Charlie. Charlie, what you looking at? Be acting all suspicious, lurking around. So it's like people on YouTube just over exaggerate. I know, and especially like I keep watching these two particular guys, these white men. They one live in California. No, both of them live in California. Um, Jeremiah Babe or something, and someone called allegedly. His name is Dan. Now I be watching them every day, but they walk around like one he does a lot of walking around at different parts in California, and he shows just different beaches and sites and stuff, and but he always they what they do is they read up on different financial reports and they basically kind of go over it, and they're like, oh, the dollar's going to collapse. you know one of them, the other guy, he speaks about you need to buy gold and silver, and I mean, I bought me 3 things of silver, you know and but they just go on that doom and gloom stuff. I'm like, and they just reporting it, but it's like all these things are fake. All the economy is fake. You know, the stock market is up, but that's not real. I'm like, I don't care if it's real, fake, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But I understand. We have to prep. People say about prep and go prep, and then now I put away food and things like that, anticipating of things going up high. But um, the thing is, it's like, oh geez, yeah, they like, oh, the market is fake, Bitcoin is fake, this and that. But then you know what? They'll turn around and probably buy up stocks and things, but they'll never tell they'll never tell people on YouTube that's what they're doing. You know, people say, but the real estate market is going to collapse. The price is just going to plummet. Now I ain't gonna lie. Um, get get out of my suitcase. Dang cat, he turn around. I know, and they just go harper on it and harper. And after a while, I started like, you know what? I'm getting tired of listening to y'all. But then, they got like 45,000 something subscribers, and shoo, I'm quite sure they're getting a good. I don't know how much people make in YouTube with these views and stuff, but they don't have no sponsors and stuff. I mean, I'm quite sure they're getting a few $1,000s, but you know, this cat, if boys, you get over here, come here, Charlie. See you, come here. I, now, relax your soul. Come here. Stop it. Cat don't even want to be. Say hi. You don't want to say hi? Maybe see. Okay, you sit down for a minute? I'll let you sit in my lap until you start getting all aggravated. The minute I get on, kids are like dang kids. The minute you get on the computer and or whatever, they want to show out. Now lay down, lay right here. We're going. Now he's in my he is in my lap. I know. They still screaming about fate. I just, they still yelling and screaming about it's fake and I don't believe in you. I said, fine, dang. Remember I told y'all a few months earlier that I said, watch, with all this going on, health insurance is going to go up. And Lord and behold, health insurance is going up next year. And they haven't said too much about, are they still going to be giving out those COVID tests and stuff? I know. I got mine too. I didn't do the booster yet because, um, I didn't do the flu shot yet. I don't know if I want to do the flu shot. I'm really debating on that because I've been taking all these different medications, you know, metformin and all these other stuff. So I don't know. I've only had the flu shot one time, the flu shot one time, and that was when I worked at the IRS. And they give it out for free anyway, so it's like I could go anywhere, and I said I'm gonna get a flu shot, and they'll give it. But um, I may get the flu shot. I might get the flu shot. I'm gonna just go to CVS and get it. I'm gonna wait on the booster because um, I had it. I had my last second shot. Oh, you just felt achy, and that was it. I'm gonna wait on the booster because let me see, July, August, September, October, November. It only been 4 months ago since I got that last shot, so I may wait a couple more months for at least 6 months. You know, I'll wait. I'll get the flu shot and then I'll do the booster shot because I just don't like all those things. You know, flu shot, booster, all that. And then I'm taking all these different things and stuff. Not because I don't believe it that it don't work. It's just I just want a little bit longer time to lapse before then. But because I said, ain't no way that you could get the shot and then 4 months and then get another one. That's just too long. Now I can understand a year, maybe it's been a year since you got it, because none of these things last forever. Now you got like those other ones, the measles and some other shot. They say that thing lasts for like 10 years, but I'm gonna wait at least 6 months. They do require at least 6 months. I got my J&J April, but got the Pfizer the day before. Okay, I knew it was a certain time you had to wait. I know 4 months is too soon to get a booster. It had to be at least 6 months to before you turn around and get another one. So, but I don't know. I haven't. They haven't been reporting. They haven't been reporting doom and gloom when it comes to saying someone got the COVID and dying in the hospital. They haven't been doing that because they were putting that on CNN. People in the hospital and they laying up there. They used to. I don't see too much of that going on, but they say it's higher in certain states. But no kind of I'm not saying it's not happening, but I don't know. Do you hear Charlie? Well, I know I got vaccinated for all those things, measles, mumps, but I don't hear too many crazy people going on about protesting and stuff about what's going on in schools and stuff. But anyway, I didn't want to talk about those vaccines and stuff. My focus is on budgeting and saving money. So, I went and did my stores today for survey, and I was supposed to get $120, but then they said, "Well, um, ow, stop it! I know you didn't bit me. The person who feeds you, you gonna try to go ahead, go ahead. You time to go. No, you ain't trying to bite me. Person who feeds you." So anyway, which is good. So what do you mean so far? Which is good? Which is good for what? Charlie gonna need to know how to go in his own bed, be slick. They wait till I go to bed, lay down, and then try to jump, and keep on evading the bed. Charlie, wait till I go lay down. Oh, the protesting that there is none for schools. I ain't heard that. I haven't heard that one. You know what's really with all those gun shootings and people still shooting up the schools and all that things. I guess they kind of shifted the story. Oh, yeah, because no, well, one is winter break, so people about to go on their winter break in the next couple of days, and two, those school shootings that happened in Dallas and that Metro Detroit area. Now that's a mess. Those things are going on. That's going on. It took away the story from people not focusing on taking boosters at the school and stuff and the protesting at school, because now the new thing, not new, but it's now shifted towards violence in schools and things like that. So, and then and you know what kills me? Somebody I was looking at their YouTube video. I think they on YouTube and Facebook Live. She's a lawyer. She was talking about, it was like a debate, not a debate, a discussion on it. And I said, you know what? That makes sense. I was like, why is it when you go to inner city public schools that's predominantly minority, aka black, um, or in poor neighborhoods, they want to have the police. Stop it! Ain't nothing in my hand. Ain't nothing but salt. Get away. They want to have police in inner city schools, metal detectors in inner city schools, but then and these higher, I guess not higher end, but and it's not white either, because there were some black kids at that other school that the person shot in Michigan. Um More upper middle class, predominantly white or higher in public school. They don't have no police. They don't have no what you call it, metal detectors, because people do not want to show that at their school. But when you think about it, most of these people, or most of these school shootings is happening in these predominantly upper middle class, white, majority white schools, because I don't know if because of white privilege, that they don't want that in their school. They don't want the image showing in their school about crime and metal detectors and things like that. But they'll let these kids go right up in there, go in the bathroom, pull out a weapon, whatever magazine rounds and start shooting up. But then they don't have no metal detectors, no police at the school, nothing. And then when it happens, everyone is so everybody is so surprised and so upset and everything else. And I'm like, how many times is this going to happen? But then you look at all the schools that these happen: Columbine, the elementary school in Connecticut. I mean, if you think of all the places where people reported um, a mass shooter or whatever, you're never gonna see it in low income, you know, low income minority neighborhoods, schools. You don't hear that because all those schools, they figure because it's in the hood or inner city where it's majority black. Get, get out of that bag. This dang cat. Oh, I thought you was in the bag. I'm sorry, Charlie. I thought you were trying to climb into something. Well, he almost did, but he's in the suitcase. My suitcase is open, but ain't nothing in there. Get out of that room, out of my closet. I need to see you. So anyway, so they don't put. You see all these police officers and all these in the schools in more inner city schools, but then you don't hear nobody. There's no shutdown of some of the schools. Now I ain't gonna say it never happened, you know, but it's amazing how certain schools, these privileged areas, they got all the resources to get all the money, taxpayer money, to get all these upgrades and computers and everything else in their schools. But you don't see them have law enforcement, security guards, and everything around the school. They don't want that. They don't want nobody to look at them and equate to them as being low class, ghetto, inner city schools. But you don't hear nobody, you don't hear nobody saying, "Oh, a high school in the Bronx, in the South Bronx, or an inner city in Brooklyn, or the ghetto fabulous areas of Atlanta, you know, somebody take a gun and shooting up the school, But all these places you see all these things are happening are in more prominent areas, It's not even prominent. It's like middle class, upper middle class. These communities, they don't want all that. They don't want to appear criminalized, that these schools look like jails to protect. But then when something happens, some badass kid, even when I look at YouTube videos on Facebook, some badass kids want to go to the teacher. Like this one video I saw, she was an African American teacher. This badass kid, she's about, no, fuck you. I'm gonna tell my mama. And she all up in the teacher face. The teacher told her to go to the principal office. Fuck you. I'm calling my mama. And she getting on the phone, and it was a phone on the desk. She picked up the phone. I was like, what the fuck? I would have punched that bitch straight in the face. That would have been the last day of my teaching career. I don't give a damn. And I'm sitting here. I mean, I was getting a headache. I couldn't even. I was getting a headache watching this. She gonna let, and there was no young little girl. She was, teenage. Just, fuck you. Let me tell my mama. I'll kick your mama's ass for letting you think you could talk to people that way too. Punch that bitch straight up in the eye. I wish I could find that video. Let me see. Let me look, see maybe if I can find it. Let me do a Google search. I'll be back in a second.
We came across Picasso on Facebook. It's really hard to find.
For the second time this year, a Dallas ISD employee has been recorded cursing a student. This time it's a 68-year-old substitute teacher at Skyline High School. Happened yesterday. And only on Fox 4, Sean Rabb has the cell phone video of the swearing substitute.
What I'm gonna do to you?
What you?
I'm gonna get one of my Bezos to take care of you.
This is part of the caught-on cell phone camera exchange between Skyline High School substitute Mark Schaefer and student Eric Malone Jr. in geometry class Monday. A recording the teacher was aware of.
The students had told me that he was saying racial slurs, that he said little black kid. And I asked him, did he say little black kid? And he's like, yes, I probably did say it, and I probably said worse.
It continues. The substitute not just directing comments at Malone anymore.
You're too lightweight for me.
Okay.
You're one of your Mexican friends playing with me. They call it in LA, they call it vatos.
The Skyline Jr. then asked a question, getting the sub to repeat what he said earlier.
But what you say you gonna do to my daddy?
I'm gonna have a little chat with him.
Nah, what you say? You say you're gonna put a cap in him.
If he wants to mess with me, I will, yeah.
So when he tells my child the things that he would do if I came to the school to visit to see what the problem was.
No, that ain't it. I tried looking for the video. All I saw was a substitute teacher cursing at a student about something. I was like, I can't find that video with that damn little girl cursing out the black teacher. I was like, oh God. See, now the video I just saw, it was a substitute teacher that was cursing out a student, saying, you gonna go tell y'all little black friends or something like that. He was, that is racist. It goes both ways. Truly it does. But sometimes, majority of the time, a teacher, if they say something, even though it's not appropriate, even though he shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have done it. But something prompted him to say that. Nobody's not just gonna come out and say stuff just to be saying it. People need to look at what they do with their little badass kids when they bring them to school, whether they be white or black. See, some of these kids be yapping with the mouth, disrespectful, and people just fed up with it. Teachers don't make no money. They get they get low pay. Even if you're a substitute teacher, shoot, you don't even make no money. I mean, you make what? One time I was looking into being a substitute teacher during these last few years, and I was like, no. The more I looked at it, the more I was like, I just couldn't finish it. I mean, they were paying like $125 a day, $100, depending on what school district. And I was like, do I feel like dealing with these badass, stupid ass kids at these, schools? Now, I ain't saying all the kids are bad or whatever. I mean, I don't care. They could be black, white, Asian, whatever. They just is disrespectful. They don't have no sense of respect for people, their elders or people, of adults. Just don't. I don't tell my mama, And then they overrule their parents, and then they go to school, and then some parents expect these badass kids. You think that the school's supposed to take, no, the school's duty is to teach and they're to learn, not to discipline. They're not there to babysit your kids. I'm sorry. And some of these parents, they want to shove these kids along and letting the school take care of it. And then when the school impose these rules or whatever, then they want to blame the school district. They want to blame the school. No, sorry. Like that thing that happened with that kid that shot up those students at the school, and they went looking for the parents, and the parents was missing. They was like, no, they just went away because their life felt threatened. No, they was abiding. They was leaving. And I'm not, could you think about that? You bought the gun. You knew Evan had issues, and they didn't say nothing. You bought the gun 2 days before that happened. You knew. Can you imagine the boy in custody, the parents trying to run off? They weren't escaping. They were running off, running straight off. Somebody found them in the inner city in Detroit. Can you imagine? They knew exactly what they did when they bought you the gun. Ain't no way in hell that. And then the school, this way the school messed up at. See, if Evan was a black boy, black kid, or black child, they would have been, okay, you can go home, and you would have been expelled to never come back. You just think nothing's gonna happen. And then you had no files, no records. They said, okay, can you show us it? They have to keep record of things like that when someone does stuff. You act up, cut up. You say, okay, you can leave, go ahead, leave the classroom, go home, and nothing's been said. And then you turn around and you just get it, the father by a gun, and then you get the gun and you just, No. People gonna say, well, I don't think this situation of school shootings will ever stop. It will never stop. It will never stop. And I'm quite sure that if they had treat all schools the same way and not turn their back, not ignore the situation, it might have not happened. But see, these parents with the signs, they can't even write, can't even spell, protesting for every little thing because they felt their privilege. No, my Ethan, he wouldn't do that. No, Susie won't curse out the teacher. Hell, shucks. No respect. I remember when I was in elementary school and they had this little badass boy. I don't remember his name. And it was a time when teachers used to be able to call the parents. So-and-so's acting up. And I remember the teacher called the father. The father came to school with a belt in his back pocket. I remember that. I remember that as clear as day. Not no little old skinny ass belt either. I'm talking about a big ass leather belt had in his back pocket. And he took the little boy who, was dismissed from the class. And the bathrooms in New York, New York City school, elementary school, they used to be open. It wasn't closed. It was like real big. But yet, he took that boy in that bathroom, tore his ass up, crying. All right. Went back in the classroom. Here you go. It's taken care of. And he went on home. And I remember parents used to be able to go to school, child act up, you get a speed, you not beaten down like extension cord beaten, but you got something. You're not gonna, and even when my mother and they was in school, my grand aunts and them used to teach school, they used to be able to paddle right in South Carolina. Kid act up. And ooh, Lord, you got paddled. I never seen it happen. Now but they used to do that. The teachers, they had to, I think they had to sign a note saying you get permission to punish my child for whatever, and they knew. My grand aunts and stuff, shoot. And then when you get a paddling at school, it's gonna go back to the parents. It go right on back to the parents. So also misbehave, whatever. Then you get another beating when you get home. See, they didn't play. See, they took discipline out of schools, took things out of the parents' hands to discipline kids. Now, I'm not, I don't condone, anything extreme, because trust me, in my lifetime, me and my sister got it worse than me. But sometimes it did go overboard. It did go overboard, with the beatings, especially when it came about the extension cord. That was just too much. That was too much. What do you think about homeschool? I don't know. I wasn't homeschooled. But what that got to do with what I'm talking about? I'm talking about discipline in school, not how one learn. I can't answer about no homeschool. I don't know. I don't. Spanking shoe, beating shoe. But these kids these days, even if you think about the millennial, no, there's a lot of no. I don't believe in homeschooling. Homeschooling has been past its mark. That doesn't do anything with the. I don't know. I can't answer about homeschool. Homeschool, there, in my opinion, you should be able to extend your learning when you get home. And the way I see these parents with the signs talk about protesting and stuff and all that kind of crap, they can't even write themselves. So who they gonna be schooling? Homeschooling is not the topic of what I'm talking about. That's not gonna help with all the problems that's going on in schools. Because when it all boils down to it, you could see people don't want to, when they had their kids to stay home to learn in front of a computer or a tablet and learn to Zoom. Only difference is you're not physically in the school. That ain't no different than people being homeschooled. People wanted the kids to go back to school. And no, you want to go back to school. And then they say, okay, you'll hit a mask, They didn't want to do the mask and they protesting about that. Who cares? So you tell me what you think about with homeschooling. People didn't want the kids, people wanting kids, to go back to school. But then when they say go back to school, you got to wear a mask. They argue about that. So obviously, they didn't want kids at home to do experience to learn at home in front of a computer, in front of a tablet. Exactly. Homeschooling, first of all, to have a parent teach their child, you're supposed to do that anyway. Way before a child is prepared to go to school, kindergarten. Before they reach first grade, they should be able to write their name and learn their colors and say ABCs before they start school formally. So a parent saying homeschool, they already homeschool the kid way before they get to school. Before they get 5 years old or so. They already home with the child. They teaching them learning development from the time they are 2 years old and to 2 to 5 years old. You already homeschooled during those formative years, and you learning ABC 1, 2, 3, coloring and all that. That's you homeschooling then. So when you go to kindergarten, plus parents won't have a break either because they will have their kids 24/7. So you teach it. The first point of contact when it comes to learning is at home with the parents or whomever is the guardian at the time. So when you say, what about homeschooling? What about homeschooling? You already homeschool your child. Everyone has everyone at some point, whether you think about it, has been homeschooled when they first learned the fundamentals. You should not be going to school. You should not send a child when they go to kindergarten and they're not potty trained. They don't know basics. ABC 1, 2, 3. You don't learn those things when you get to school. You should already know that. Parents should already, or whoever the guardian is, should already have learned those things beforehand. So now, if you're talking about, they in elementary, junior high, and high school, and they being homeschooled, you know, if you want to go through it, people have their choice, and you can homeschool. There's a lot of communities, a lot of people, certain groups, you know, they go through homeschooling, but I don't know. I don't have any children. I wouldn't think about them doing homeschool. I wouldn't homeschool a child. You don't get to experience social skills are developed. You don't get to develop dealing with different people, dealing with certain curriculum activities, homeschooling kids, especially when you get to junior high school and high school. Elementary school, you could probably get away with it somewhat, but I don't know. That's a choice. But that's unrealistic for a parent that it's unrealistic if you have two parents. Well, first of all, I grew up with both my parents and most of my cousins, and we grew up in a two-family household. Now, these days, people say, I go to my mom, I go to a single parent household, blah, blah, blah. Most of the time, that's not feasible for people in that predicament. A single parent homeschooling a kid younger, because one, you have to work. And two, if you're low income and you have a child and they get to a certain point, they got vouchers and everything else, and they going to the nearest whatever school they're gonna send their kids. And most of the time, kids in that predicament, low income, parents been low income, uneducated, send their kids to elementary school, and most of the time it's in inner city schools, not up to par. They send their school, they send their kids, they don't know how to say ABC, they don't know how to write their name, they don't, Jaquan and Taquita and whatever these kids' names are, they're not even up to par, even at a elementary school first grade level. So by the time they get to up in grade, they already behind because they didn't learn initially when they were growing up to learn from the parents. Your first school of learning comes from at home. So I don't have an opinion about what about homeschooling. About what? Because I'm not talking about learning at this point. I'm talking about sending these badass kids to these schools. Either one, they act like they privileged and they think they could talk to the teacher any old kind of way and just talk crazy. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these badass kids who just, they don't have no sense of, ow, ooh, my toe. I'm talking about that. Well, I don't even think it's about breaks. I don't even think, they need a break because at some point or another, for a time someone has a baby, they bear to raise a child or whatever, at some point they have to work. Unless they real privileged where they could have a nanny or somebody to help them. I don't know. It's not about to me. I don't think it's about a parent needs a break. Because at some point or another, a parent they have to either go to school or they got to go to work. The child is 5-6 years. The child is 6 years old. They old enough to go to school. They go to elementary. They go to elementary school or kindergarten. They only in school for a few hours. And they say they 24 hours a day. Most of the time you with a child, most of the time you spend time with your child for a majority of time. You go to sleep for like 8 hours. And I'm talking about typical during the weekday. So you have a child, young child, they sleeping, so it's not, I mean, the responsibility, you have to make sure you watch your child and take care of your child. But at some point or another, when it's time for, you teach your child, during that time you spending time with a child and you teaching them to just talk and spell and color and do all those things, then it gets to a point, you send them off to school, they are at school a few hours during the day, you go to work, I mean, it's like, that's the thing you do. That's the thing you have with a child. The difference now is a lot of things that's so difficult now for a lot of people, especially when you're not financially well off to take care of a child. That's where it becomes a problem. When you're struggling, when someone struggles raising a child and you struggling financially, that's why, that's why some of these kids, I just observe how people who you could tell they live in nice neighborhoods, the parents got very good careers. I see it all the time in Atlanta. You could tell. And they be, they kids and they're like letting their kids get away with a lot of things because they feel entitled. They got that white privilege. Susie, stop. Susie, don't do that. Or they don't even tell them not to do it. They just let their kids get away wild and just talk to people crazy. And these kids ain't no young kids. I mean, they be, you could just tell. It's just they got this arrogance about them, like they think they're better than people. And this parenting is different with different races of groups of people, especially with money. Let me give you an example. One time when I used to do Instacart and all these gig work, I would go to these real $1 million neighborhoods and, and let me tell you how the different types of families I would have dealt with. Now, I would go to one area, real nice. I was like, oh, this is nice. And then I come to deliver whatever it is. I don't know, deliver, whatever. And the child would come and open the door and they were like, hello, real, like, and I ain't gonna say they were snooty or nothing, but, you know, um, they were disrespectful. They weren't like bougie acting, whatever. And you could tell how well mannered they were, but it was like a different class. Just a whole different class. And you could tell they didn't have to everything they needed, they wanted, they got. And they didn't have to be white. They just had to be. It's about having wealth. You know. Well, thank you. And it was just the way they spoke, the way the way they were, and you know, and they just carried themselves a little bit differently. I come there to deliver the groceries and things like that, and say like if the child did have to open the door or whatever, and they would say, "Oh, go and check to make we're getting some groceries delivered," and they just wouldn't, I don't know. It was just different. It's sometimes they teach their children certain types of responsibility. Like for instance, about tipping and saying thank you. And it was a young child, and it was like, here, go ahead and give them. Here, they'll give this person this, and say thank you, and get, they would give you the money. It was like, well, thank you, and and they'll take their little packages and their groceries and stuff and go about their way. So you could tell people who teach their children to have class, how to be pleasant and how to treat people and not feel that they think they're so privileged and think, and then there's the other flip of the coin. I would go to the door, I would come to the door and they would have a housekeeper. You could tell this was the maid. And they, I come to get the groceries and stuff, and you see them in the background all laying on there looking at TV like it ain't nothing. They ain't helped the groceries, they ain't helped them get to the stuff at the door, nothing. And they act like, so some people they just act a little bit more entitled and thinking because they have a little housekeeper and servants and stuff, they're a little bit too grown for their own goddamn good. And that was, like entitled, ugh, disgusting. Then I go to one side of town and I'll come. I'm loading cases of water and soda and all junk. And people come to, you get there to the door. And then you will see where another different aspect of how they were trained. They sitting there, just sitting there, seeing me at cases and cases of water. They didn't get up their dumb ass to help me get the stuff because I ain't had to do all that, and act privilege and act like, oh, that's her job. She's supposed to do that. I just drop that stuff right on the damn ground and just drive off, Or I don't even go all the way up the stairs. I'm saying I'm putting right up at the end of the step And I said, nope, I ain't going up all the way up the stairs, and put it inside the door. I ain't supposed to go in your house. So I just put. Then there's another scenario where, I come to deliver it. The parent be screaming, Jerron, so come here and get these stuff. They always say that if you see somebody with a bag or taking stuff out, you ain't gonna sit there. They'll be like, you ain't just gonna sit there. You ain't, you ain't got no servants in this house. Go ahead and get that groceries and get that food and help her get the car. Even though I'm taking stuff out the trunk and going to the door, ringing the doorbell, wait till someone answer. I'm not supposed to go in the house, put the groceries, supposed to put it on the floor. And they would be like, the kids in the house, they be screaming. They say, you come here and get these groceries and get these stuff. You ain't be sitting around here doing nothing. So it's like some parents teach their kids that you ain't gonna be entitled, whether they have money or not. Then some parents, they be thinking, they not home, but they teenagers and they sitting at home eating them out house and home for the whole summer. So it depends. Some people get that you get that learning in terms of responsibilities is at home. Some people, they're like, you ain't gonna be sitting here, and then some people would tip, they give me a little tip or whatever, and whatever, and they be like, these kids, I can't wait till they get back to school, eat me out of house or home, and they say, I'll be sitting around this house all summer long eating out, Uber Eats and ordering groceries. The grocery bill be double during the summertime, and you can hear the parents, they be screaming and hollering. These kids be sitting at home all summer long, and they were just chilling, like it ain't like nothing. And it wasn't about money. If they had money, if they didn't have no money, some people didn't play that. They didn't play that little game. I've seen all extremes of income levels in Atlanta, and how kids are communicated responsibilities. Some white folks be saying, come here get these food and groceries, and go ahead help her get these stuff out the car. I said, no, I have to. And then but I just said, okay, And then some parents be like, I hate to say it, but I find more Indian parents, they act like they treat their kids like they privileged. They don't tell them to get nothing. They don't tell them to get no bag or nothing. But black and white families in America, they ain't having that. They are not having that. They make sure. One lady I went to, she was really good. I think she was the grandmother. How she, I went to deliver the pieces, and they went to the door, and she was there. She was right next to the little child and taught them how to thank you for the order and how to tip. I was like, I wouldn't even, like I said, I wouldn't be expecting no tips all the time. But the fact that she sat there and taught, right there at the door, said, now, when you order food and this and that, and, you say thank you, and then you always tip, so da-da-da. She was teaching them right at that door, and I had appreciated that. And I've delivered before to her, and they always do that. Because it's like I've come across these, I don't even know if I can't even say they're millennials at this point. Because I don't think if you 20 something now, you millennial. Because they be the main ones. What? Charlie's up there playing in this box. I know you didn't just tip. All right, I ain't gonna say nothing. Because, see, I left the thing on the floor. That box on the floor, playing with the little, I had this thing in a box and he took it all out. Now he's playing with it. Here. Don't be running. You took it out the box. See, I ain't gonna blame he, playing with these little paper straps. I ain't gonna say nothing. Go right up there. So, but I don't even know where I was going with this. Oh, so when people go to school and the way they act in school, they learn that from home. If your parents were real strict and stuff and you just can't talk to adults any kind of way, you get your teeth knocked in. And trust and believe, the way you act at school is the same way you act at home. Same way. I don't care what color you are. Because one thing I know that especially with older parents or southern parents, or if you grew up in the South, the old South, one thing for sure, you ain't gonna embarrass them. My aunts and my mother and people, they always just say, you ain't gonna embarrass me. Because one thing for sure is that if you act a fool, they say, ain't that so-and-so grand? Ain't that so-and-so grand? That's Benjamin Grand. That's Ethlie Grand. Yeah, that's Carrie's daughter. And you act a fool, that's the first thing they be doing. They be going back to your ancestors. That's so-and-so grand. If you act up in your name in shoe, and it gets back to them, and you did something to embarrass the family name, that's your ass. That's your ass. Let me tell you. They didn't believe in that. Then they wouldn't believe in that crap. Cause see, that's a reflection on the parent and the grandparents. So you act up in school, you do something. That's the worst thing you could do. And I don't think I've ever been in that predicament. I have never done nothing to embarrass my grandparents or parents. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. No siree. Hold on a second, let me see some birds. Huh? That's the worst thing you could do. Hey, just Teresa. Just calling to see if you went home. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Well, but anyway, that's my little story. I know I went all over the place because I didn't know where I was going with that. But anywho. Okay, well, ain't much more to say now, but so just go in the links. I'll put the links of the gift cards and things like that, and just go and check it out. And next year, when we start the beginning of the year, we're gonna do a little contest, like how much points you think you could add up, and how much rebates you could claim, and how much money you could save for 2022. So I'm going to start doing a budget. I'm going to write my whole budget out because, I've done a budget, but I haven't really updated it in a long time. And I want to do a budget and update. And I need to cut and save because everything going up in prices and things like that. My goal is to cut down on my debts and also save so I could start remodeling and then do some upgrades and DIY projects. So next year, God willing, I'm going to start doing some little DIY projects. So I'm going to be looking at some more videos on how to do certain things. And I'm going to also do more videos, not live stream videos because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. So I'm going to do a lot of shopping at Home Depot and ask for your inputs of items that I could buy so I could, do some little changes and things like that. Take y'all along. All right, y'all. Ain't got much to say. So I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Bye, Brooklyn boy, or Jeremy, Colis, Romeo. Who else is in here? Because it says 5 of y'all, but I only see 3 of y'all. All right. Ain't nobody else saying nothing. So, okay. Please like and comment and subscribe. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Bye.